everybody, I'm Jammer and welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. The fall update is presumably right around the corner. Any day now, it's absolutely expected that we're going to see some new update from Isabelle showing off all the new features coming alongside the fall update. And we've talked about the fall update plenty in both my fall update video, as well as talking more about the potential data mine information that could come with the fall update. But today, this video is going to be about something a little different. Rather than talking about big holiday updates and other kind of things that we can already expect coming down the pipeline, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a sizzle reel of a bunch of fun, smaller updates that would be awesome to come to Animal Crossing New Horizons. This kind of is in the category of not only quality of life updates, but also small little features I'd love to see to come to the game. But before we get into all that, if you are new here, perhaps consider subscribing. Mr. YouTube told me that only 16% of you that watch my videos are subscribed. And we of course don't want to make him sad with his cute little hat and mustache. So make Mr. YouTube happy. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. You can always change your mind later, and you can expect tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Anyways, thanks for listening to all that. Without further ado, let's get started. The first update is the Villager update. With an update like this, I'd love to see an addition of tons of more dialogue to the villagers. I'm sure many of you have felt this when playing the game, that the dialogue tends to get a little bit repetitive when talking to your villagers so frequently, especially when there's a fishing tournament or something coming up in the weekend where they continue to repeat the same things over and over. And it's of course to be expected that every island's gonna at least have a couple of duplicate personalities, so having a pool of more dialogue for those characters to pull from will make them all feel a lot more unique. Building off that, I'd love to see villagers using more of the furniture outside. First and foremost, sit on the benches that are right in front of you. And better yet, with this update, just make it so whenever you pull out the camera app, the villagers just stop what they're doing and they stay put in the chair and continue to look cute. I'm so sick of whenever I pull out the camera, they always just run away. On top of that, I'd love to see more unique uses of furniture outside in your town. A great example to pull from, of course, is Pocket Camp, where villagers can hop in and swim inside the little bath. They can actually get in and use the teacup ride. It'd be so cute to see your characters in your town using all these fun furniture items that are lying about on your island. And one other thing about villagers is I'd love to see that villagers that are moving from a friend's island, the mechanic would be similar to having an amiibo campsite villager. So rather than you needing to have an empty plot for your friend's villager to move into your town, it'd be so much more convenient if you could do similar to what the amiibo campsite villager did, where you can select one of your characters to kick out. Matter of fact, just make regular campsite villagers do that too. It is so much more convenient and there's no reason to have to continue to reset to get the correct villager to be kicked out. The sitting update. This would be a smaller update, but I would love the ability to be able to sit on the ground with your villagers. I know I just barely ranted talking about how the villagers should actually use the chairs around your town, but it is still pretty cute when they sit next to the riverside, and how adorable would it be if you could also sit right next to them and have a little picnic with your favorite characters. The announcement update. Everyone loves to rag on Isabelle for talking about absolutely useless stuff every single day, really not using the announcements to an effective way that she potentially could. She'll talk about the seasons changing and when holidays are occurring and birthdays, but there's still plenty of opportunity for her to talk about more things that could be useful to the player. It would be really helpful if she always announced what traveling character was in your town for the day, like mentioning if there's a weird ship docked at the northern beach of the island, if she saw CJ or Flick walking around, Sahara, or any of the other traveling characters. Perhaps mention if there seems to be a bird washed up on the shore. It'd be a really convenient way to find out what special character is in your town for the day, because often I'll completely forget and not even realize that I had CJ in my town the entire time. Also, another cute segment of the announcements could be a mini weather forecast, where she briefly mentions if rain's gonna come up soon, more accurate whether there's gonna be a meteor shower, not just a random chance, if she's even gonna mention it. Just something simple like that provides a little bit more use to the daily announcements. The storage update. This goes without saying, but of course, more storage spaces would be absolutely amazing. I know I have a terrible problem with hoarding way too much junk, and I should really just sell all the stuff I have. But it would be nice to just have a little bit more storage, because why not? Perhaps what could be helpful to this is actually having clothing as well as materials in a separate storage space. So then you can collect tons and tons of clothes for your wardrobe and different wand outfits. Rather than taking up space in the regular storage, perhaps they're in their own section. The same could go for also materials, because of course I have tons of different materials that I'm going to need for future crafting projects, but I don't want to throw them away just because I'm running out of space for other things. So it'd be nice to have your storage a little bit more separated. the outdoor layout update. I know I'm not the only one here when I say I would love to have more bridges and more inclines, please. I hate the fact that I've been so constrained with the design of my island solely based on the fact that I've run out of inclines for the projects I want to work on. Another cool feature I've seen people talk about is what if you were able to put bridges over inclines? I could see how that could maybe cause some issues about like putting stuff underneath that said bridge and whatnot, but it still would be pretty cool if that was a feature. I think building off this, giving players the option to like maybe freeze the frame that you're currently working on, give a top-down view of your island, and then be able to quickly draw and lay out where you want the water cliffs and all that kind of stuff. It would streamline the process and make it so much quicker to make really beautiful sections on your island. But why stop there? It'd be really cool if you could have that top-down editing, just like you can have in your house, but also outdoors. Now, before you say, well, that's not Animal Crossing enough, that would be kind of weird if you just, you could have that kind of editor outside in your town. Well, they let you do that in Happy Home Designer. Not only were you allowed to use this new tool to place items in your house, but you could also use it when designing the front yards of the villager homes that you were designing in that game. So it'd be really cool to see the return of that tool. The fruit update. This could be a smaller update, bringing along all of the tropical fruit that were left behind in New Leaf. Lemons, mangoes, persimmons, bananas, lychee, and durian were a set of 6 fruit that were in New Leaf that didn't make their return here in New Horizons. It'd of course be cool to see their return here. Matter of fact, it'd also be really cool to see the return of Perfect Fruit, where your town's native fruit to your island has the potential to yield a perfect variant that would not only sell for more, but also look really cool. Beyond that, one of the cool features about the Perfect Fruit trees, they had a limited amount of harvests you could get from a single tree. And once the tree ran out of harvests, it would actually lose its leaves and be a dead tree, which looked absolutely amazing when designing a spooky area of your island. The custom design update. I think this also goes without saying that more custom design slots, simple enough. Or another easy way to do that would be just to offer different design slots for the other players on your island. The other player characters that you have living on your island all share the same collection of custom design patterns, and it's not separate based on which player you're playing as. So not only is that very inconvenient if you actually had for 2 people who are playing on the same Switch, but it would also open up a lot more opportunity to more custom design slots if you wanted to make a couple of alternate characters to have a bigger access to more custom design slots. The shopping update. First and foremost, when you go in the changing room at Able Sisters, it'd be great to have some sort of shopping cart where you could add a bunch of different variants of colors to your cart, because I can't tell you how frequently I'll be going in and out of that changing room just so I can buy enough of a certain kind of clothing I'm trying to get. I think a very simple idea for the Nook's Cranny cabinet is of course being able to select how many of a certain item you want to buy when it comes to customization boxes, flower packets, saplings, etc. Solely giving the option between only 1 and 5 is really odd, and it would be so much better to be able to select how many you actually wanted to purchase. Another idea could be able to redeem Nook miles from your phone. After purchasing 100 Nook catalog items, you can of course browse your catalog from your phone, which is really convenient for buying people presents and checking what items you have in your catalog. It would be great to be able to access the Nook Mile items as well, conveniently from your phone. Another idea could be to bring back the shopping card from Animal Crossing City Folk. This was an item you could hold in your pockets that could access the indefinite funds that were in your bank account, so you could purchase large, expensive products and not have to be carrying around tons and tons of bells straight in your pocket. Even if they don't bring back that tool, I'm totally fine with that, honestly. But more than anything, I think it'd be great just to see the ABD furniture item returning. How convenient it would be to be able to place down an ABD somewhere in your house or your town, perhaps by your Dodo Airlines, where you could access your bank account and be able to pull out more funds conveniently rather than having to go back in Town Hall every time you needed to access your account. So that's all the time we have for this being part 1 of the little smaller random updates I'd like to see come to Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you have any suggestions for smaller and random updates you'd love to see in part 2, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons, as well as the part 2 to this video coming up very soon. As a reminder, we do stream this game every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern right here on YouTube Live. That's both Saturdays and Sundays. Be sure to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram to keep up with everything we do at the channel, as well as join our community Discord. The link to that is in the description below. It's a great place to find friends to play Animal Crossing with, trade turnips, items, and all that fun stuff. Thanks again guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!